podcast hosts Gabe and Leo discuss topics that directly and indirectly affect the LGBTQ plus community. Their generation gap has them seeing the world through very different points of view. They fight, they argue, they laugh, and they get off topic. But they make sense. Most of the time. Are you ready for this episode of Let's Talk Trans? Well, let's get started.
Hey, it's Gabriel from Let's Talk Trans. And I know that's not my usual, hey, welcome, but it's been 4 months since we've done a podcast, and I wanted to be brutally honest with a couple of things. So, back in December, Kai got very sick at school, and we had a close call. And we were really hoping that with that appointment that, a month or a couple weeks in the hospital, she'd be fine. But the problem was that it kept recurring. It kept coming back and showing up and showing up and showing up. And so, unfortunately, we had to put the podcast on hold while we focused on her recovery. And thankfully, she is doing much, much better. She's back in school. She's back locally in school. Working, being her usual self. And we just wanted to, say thank you all for still listening to the podcast and still being, around. And I was checking the stats the other day because Spreaker, the company the platform that we use to do the podcasts, shows us stats every week. I get an update, and I'm always surprised to see double and sometimes triple digit numbers of people who are listening, just repetitively listening to our episodes. And the new people who are listening to our episodes, which I want to say, one, thank you for listening. I'm glad you found us. But with 50 episodes out there, it's truly remarkable that like I said, so many people are still listening even after the fact that we've been down for 4 months. So it's insane. It looks like if I go back and look through, it's remarkable how many different episodes are out there. Well, we're going to continue to make them. And we're hopefully going to get back here into a routine and a pattern. I might have to change things up because Leo's not really, digging the podcast thing anymore. But we'll see what happens. So tonight we're going to talk about two things. One, a very big event is happening in the next 48 hours. And we want you to be part of it. And two, I have found myself in a position... it's kind of interesting, a very, very masculine position that I guess I don't want to say that a lot of transgender people don't find themselves in. Definitely not like a bucket list type thing, but the thing of it is it is a very male-dominated, very masculine environment, and I find myself in a leadership role, which is kind of odd for me, I guess. One, I don't typically do leadership things. I like to follow more than lead. I mean, I can, but it just... There's too much responsibility in leadership, for lack of a better term, or lack of a better idea. Okay, so let's start off with the big news. Okay. In 48 hours, less than 48 hours now. Yeah, in 48 hours, everything will be done and over with. So let's say 30 hours. No, let's say 40 hours. In 40 hours, give or take. So Friday, April 21st, I will be having top surgery. After a consultation last August and, a meeting in December, a pre-surgery meeting in December, we finally got the insurance to agree, and everything came together, and we were able to coordinate and have this surgery set up. So I am having the top surgery done in April, in 2 days, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's the culmination of 18 months of 20 months of being out. Again, repetitive therapy sessions, and it's just a wow. It's one step closer to having the body that I feel like is mine. And I know there's a lot of people out there, a lot of people who listen that unfortunately their insurances don't cover it, or they, here in the United States, they're in states where there's just absolutely no support from their government. I truly, I feel bad. Not the word that seems like so mediocre. Bad's not the right word. I want to say it like I'm enraged by my government that this is even a thing. That I'm enraged on that a state government is even so worried about something so none of their business. And I just like it. It's beyond me. Like I don't understand. We had a situation at work the other day. I had a situation at work the other day. Someone who was told by another person that I was transitioning held the door open for me and said, "Ladies first." And I looked up at him, and I knew full well that I had not told him. And I looked at him and said, "You called me a lady." He's like, "Yes, I did." Now, mind you, no one else is around, so he's doing this in a very cowardly way because he's never said anything like this or where other people could hear him. And then proceeds to tell me that he doesn't do political correctness. And I just, I look at him like, well, if you don't do political correctness, you're kind of in the wrong environment. This is a place where you need to be maybe not sensitive to another staff member, but you definitely have to mind your P's and Q's in this environment. And I didn't say anything. I just kind of kept walking, and we got to the next gate where, we're on our way out the door for the day. And he looks at me and goes, "Well, you can kick me in the boys if you want to, girl." Of course, he didn't say boys because he just don't want to be that vulgar. But it was the girl thing. It was that jab, like, that verbal knife that he took and he just had to thrust it in play. And I knew that he was intentionally trying to hurt me. He was intentionally. I don't know what makes a person think that something is so wrong internally for them, or that they are so right that it is okay to take a verbal weapon and attempt to harm somebody. And I told him point blank, "You know what? You're not worth the paperwork. You're just not." We went inside, and the instant we got inside the building, there had to been like a couple of, I don't know, 10, maybe 8 or 9, 10, I don't know. There was quite a group of maintenance guys, and he never said another word. I clocked out, I left. Sat in the car for a little bit. I got really, really angry, and I tried to think of how to process this, how to handle it. And I eventually go to HR. HR's all for it. "Hey, let's write it up. We'll do EEO. This is harassment. Yada yada." And I follow, XYZ, and I do the interviews, and I'm listening, and I'm talking about it. And then one day it clicks that I'm not going about this the right way. I personally am not going about this the right way. I can, get everybody and anybody in trouble every time somebody misgenders me, or every time somebody expresses their opinion. I can get them in trouble. I have that power. But that's not the power that I want to wield. That's not the power that I want to have. And I dropped the charges. And when asked why, I said those very exact words. I have that ability. I can write every single person up. I can make it so that they know they will address me as Mr. or he or sir. Because if they don't, they can get written up. They can lose their job because they're misgendering me. But all that does is breed fear, and it breeds animosity in an environment where fear and animosity are not something that you want. In the place where I work full time, it's stressful. It's dangerous. So why on God's green earth would I want to breed more of that type of stress for staff? For anybody. And I said, that's not the power that I want. That's not the way to go about this. I'm thick enough skinned. His words, yes, they pissed me off. Yes, I have a right. But he didn't shove me. He didn't come at me physically. He tried to come at me psychologically. And the only person that can allow that to hurt is me. I'm the only one who can determine whether the word girl hurts my feelings. Or lady. Or miss. I'm the only one who can determine that that hurts my feelings. And I said that, I told HR, I said, yeah, this is not the way I want to go about this. I do want to change the status quo. I want them to call me Mr. or Sir or he, but I want them to do that under the understanding that it is what is appropriate, and that's a sign of respect. Not, well, I have to do this or so-and-so is going to write me up. That's the wrong, that's just the wrong mentality. So the thing of it is I wish that as if a person can figure that out, if I can be sitting in my car and have that epiphany at some point, I truly wonder how long it will take our government to do so. And I wonder if, people like DeSantis or oh my gosh, I wish I could remember his name. I'm sorry, or Abbott. That's the governor. That's the governor of Texas. I wish that these people could go, well, it may not be my cup of tea religiously, but it's still their choice. It's still their right. And as a person, I may not choose to like that right, or I may not choose to like or agree with it, but I still have to respect them as a human being. And I know, again, a lot of what is going on in Texas and what is going on in Florida seem to be... Florida's its own debacle. I won't even really go there, but the Texas and Tennessee, they're geared towards juvenile protection. And I say the word protection very loosely. But, it just is. It's something that I worry about our government being able to do because, well, it's not just one mind. And what was it? The movie, I can't believe I'm going to quote a movie, but you guys remember Men in Black, the very first Men in Black, when Tommy Lee Jones' character goes, a person is smart, but people are stupid. You know that. And we do know that. People are dumb, ignorant, they panic. People in groups don't think smart. They're not rational. I think our government is a prime example of that. We're so quick to make judges, or we're so quick to jump to conclusions that we don't think rationally. We don't think. What's the word I want to use? We don't think with we think with our heads, not with our hearts. Let's put it that way. But I was sorry. I did one of those off on a tangent type things. Top surgery. Back to top surgery. So again, I'm lucky enough that my insurance company is paying for my surgery. Here in the United States, top surgery costs anywhere between $6,000 and $10,000 out of pocket, and so a lot of people aren't able to afford it. Of course, that's a shame. It really is. I'm not sure the euphoria that I will experience when those bandages come off, or even looking down and going, hey, there's nothing there anymore. The first time I've thrown a t-shirt and not have to worry about it, I don't think I can explain the euphoria. I know what I'm anticipating, but I know I wish that euphoria for everybody. I know I wish that euphoria for whether you're demasculating or feminizing. No, I knew I was going to butcher that. Hold on. Whether let's just put it adding or subtracting. How's that? If you're adding or subtracting, from your current body type. I wish that you could experience the euphoria of starting to see the person outside that you know is on the inside. What I'd like to do in the next couple of days is tomorrow we're going to do another podcast with a 24-hour window. At that point, I will have it. I don't even have a surgery time yet. I don't even know what time to show up at the hospital. I'll go through my prep bag and what have you and tell you all the stuff that I've taken with me. It is here in PA where we are, it is an outpatient process. So I know very basically that I'm going to go in. I'm going to answer some questions. I do believe I have to do a COVID test. They're gonna drug me up. I'm gonna pass out. The surgery is about 2 hours. The recovery window is 1 to 3 hours, and then pretty much I'm gonna get sent home for a few days. I do have to be back in there for Monday, so they can check the drains and what have you. But the thing of it is that it is not an inpatient. I'm not staying overnight, unless there's complications, of course, which there aren't anticipated to be any. There never are, but I know there are some places where it is an overnight thing, because maybe it's just easier. Maybe the insurance insists on it. I'm not sure. But all the facilities are always different. But here in PA, this is an outpatient experience. In my so much, and this is the thing, so much so that actually, like tomorrow, I have to go buy button-down shirts because in some of the stuff that I was reading. I know that I can't wear T-shirts. I love T-shirts. I love my graphic tees. I love my grunt style. I'm a big, huge fan of the grunt style veteran tees, which I absolutely love. I have a membership. I wholeheartedly admit. One of those T-shirts said "Defending freedom, not feelings," and I went, "Oh, well, that's First off, I was like, "Oh, well, that's a jerk thing to say. Got to defend freedoms. Got to defend feelings. It's my right to feel." And then I went, wait, no, I'm defending my freedom. No, I was defending freedom. Feeling is, kind of a side effect of freedom, but I really don't give a rat's around how somebody feels about me. It's always nice to be appreciated, but again, going along with that incident that happened at work, I really don't care what that guy feels. I really don't. Because if I think about it, then it gnaws on me, and that's the opposite of what I'm trying to do for myself. So it affects my mental health in a negative capacity. But what I said was I want to do a 24-hour podcast, so I would like to do another one tomorrow. And then probably one on Saturday or Sunday, depending on how I feel. And, give you guys some juice as to what's going on and how it happened and what exactly... Some of the comfort and discomfort, almost. I want to. It's not live, obviously, but. And the thing is, I think we've all seen it. Anybody who's been curious about top surgery has gone on YouTube and watched videos, or gone on TikTok and seen some stuff. I went and I did all that, but then I also went onto the Mayo Clinic's website, and I went to the Cleveland Clinic's website. I've read just about as much as my brain's ready to handle. And I've watched about every video I thought that was of any worth to watch. And a lot of the perspectives are very much the same. So like I said, I'm truly looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to swimming in trunks this summer and not having to worry about anything other than some scars. I truly, this is maybe this is a little TMI. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it is. Being that I have had children and that I was a breastfeeding parent, I have rather large nipples. I think I can say that word online. Anyway, okay, whatever. I'm looking forward to seeing the graphing or the reconstruction of that area because of the fact that they are significant. I'm also looking forward to getting rid of those little weird. Now I wholeheartedly, I'm a chubby person. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not thin. I definitely have more of a dad bod. Okay, and I have those boob handles underneath my arms, and the doctor said, "Oh yeah, that stuff's got to go." So I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like. I like I said, I'm really looking forward to the process. And the thing of it is that not just myself, but I know like some of my coworkers are looking forward to it too. They're looking forward to seeing what I look like, how I come off, how I feel post surgery. And we're not talking about how sore I feel or how uncomfortable I feel or how comfortable I feel, but what it does for my confidence, what it does for my ego, what it does for my personality. It kind of goes along with the chin hair. I've got my little patch of chin fur now, and I play with it constantly because it's there, and it's kind of like it's like my nervous thing. Like when I get nervous, I start pulling on those hairs. My dad says I'll go bald down there, which really wouldn't be anything new. I didn't even know you can go bald on your chin, but whatever. But that's one of my things, and having that there and knowing that that's there, it helps. When a complete stranger identifies you as sir, because maybe you've got some chin hair, or you got a deeper voice, it does something for the ego. I don't care. I'm sure that for people who are transitioning or have transitioned male to female, that the hearing ma'am or miss or young lady or any of those things, I'm sure it has the same, just that twins of euphoric, I passed, I made it. That was so nice of them. I don't know if anybody ever wonders this. I know I've wondered it a couple of times, but I kind of wonder at what point do I stop worrying that I pass? At what point do I stop second-guessing myself? Not second-guessing myself, that's the wrong way of putting it. Wondering if current is enough. That's where my mindset is, and I'm truly hoping that top surgery kind of eliminates a little bit more of it, because now guys that are, or people that are drawn to the chest, oh well, that's a girl because she's got now can't make that jump because that's not there anymore. So, but again, we'll see. Again, when it comes to top surgery, the recovery time for this is impressive. Again, I don't know if anybody's looked at that or not. Here in the state of PA, I assume it's the same, but here in the state of PA, for my insurance company, I am in bed for a couple days. I'm technically out of work for 10 days. But full total recovery is 4 to 6 weeks. I can go back to work after 10 days. To me, that's impressive. To know that I can actually go back into the work environment, 10 days after which, to me, that's like freaking wow. I had a hysterectomy back in August, and I think the downtime for that was 3 weeks. And that was 21 days, and this is 10. It's just, like I said, it's just genuinely impressive. But okay, so that being said, I get the cool soap that I have to wash with. No liquids, no this, no that. Again, we'll find out the day when it happens. It's kind of, or we'll find out tomorrow what time I have to be there. It's kind of cool. Kai is going to drive me in. I might drive us in, and Kai can drive me home. But we'll see what happens. So I kind of feel bad for her because she's going to sit there while I'm, under the knife the whole time. So I don't know. Maybe she'll find somewhere to go shopping or something like that. I don't know. Okay, so the other thing that we got to talk about, the other massively masculine thing. Ow. I'm sure I've talked about this in the past. Last year I was photographing a football team. In October, I purchased a piece of said team. We are currently 4-0 as far as the football schedule goes. I am recognized in our community as one of the owners. Now, the thing of it is that no one, not a single person has ever gone, oh, that's Gabriel, that's the transgender owner of this football team. No one's ever said that. I've been on the radio. We've been in parades. Next week or next month, they're going on the TV. I am not doing TV because nobody wants to see a fat photographer talking about football. They want to see the football players, so it's not going to be me. But the thing of it is that this is like when other coaches, when coaches come out on the field and they shake your hand, they're not going, "Oh, well, this is not quite what I expected." I'm getting firm, masculine. Hey, coach, how you doing? Hey, you're an owner. It's nice to meet you. Appreciate what you're doing with the team. Genuinely, and you can hear it when it's condescending. You can hear that girl in people's voices or the boy in people's voices when they're trying to point out that their opinion of your position or their opinion of your transition. I'll say, in this league. In this, like I said, this highly charged, testosterone-filled environment, we're just here to play ball. It's absolutely brilliant to know, absolutely phenomenal, that like I said, in this environment, my transition means squat. Like, none of these guys worry about who I was before I was Gabriel. None of them question whether there's breasts under my hoodie or not. None of them worry that I only have this little bitty patch of hair on my chin. They see a man, they see a guy who is part owner of a football team that is doing really well, that is making a name for this team, putting this team on the map. And it's, again, it's how do I word this? It's funny for being a person on a podcast. You'd think I would know how to word things at this point. It's not liberating. It's not even enlightening. It gives me hope. It gives me hope that in what can be classified as an overly brutal, just masculine, like I said, just you know what I mean? Type environment. It's all me football, you little man. Almost said Marine mentality. I'm sorry if you were a Marine. I'm not trying to be mean. There's no crayons involved. It's just that, that thumping of the chest, me man, me play football. Neolithic. Maybe that's the word I'm trying to think. Neolithic mentality. And no, I know not all football players are Neanderthals. It's the concussions. But what I'm saying is for that environment to be accepted regardless of my transition, to just be accepted as a person trying to do something really, really, impressive in this team. It's hopeful that if these guys can accept us, I don't say these types, but if people in this type of environment are like, yeah, man, we don't care, he's cool, then there's hope. You know what I mean? There's hope in all aspects of this environment. There's hope at all aspects of humanity. Again, my transition has never played a factor with this team. They don't care. Have I been misgendered? Yes. And again, they're football player men, so I've got a chest. They're gonna look at it, and of course, eyeballs down here. So Plus, we won't even talk about this, but I swear up and down that some of them misgender me just because they're attracted to me. We won't even go there. But I truly think that's the case sometimes. I won't say that. I shouldn't say that. That's not nice. I could be wrong. Maybe I am wrong. I don't know. But then, like I said, there's these guys that are just absolutely, and the whole team. I mean, the whole sport. I've had no issues with any of them as far as the transition goes. They've all been phenomenal. So much, in fact, that to add on top of the masculinity, Kai decided to join the football team as a kicker. And so now my daughter has 40 plus football player size boyfriends, brothers, not boyfriends. Holy buckets! Holy Lord! No, 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 not boyfriends. No, 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 no. I'm not prepared for that. No, 40 plus big brothers. That's what I meant to say. Big brothers that will trounce the living anything out of somebody who even remotely hurts her. So that's kind of nice too. So those are like the big things that I wanted to talk about tonight. The football and the masculinity and top surgery. I truly hope my mic is not sensitive enough to pick up Kai in her room screaming now on VR. I gotta tell you, VR is a weird thing. I asked Kai if she wanted to do the podcast with me tonight after school, and she's like, "No, I'm going clubbing." Like, clubbing? You're not old enough to go clubbing. Oh, I'm going VR clubbing. I'm sorry. So at this point now in our lives, we can sit in our room, do absolutely nothing, put a headset on, and you can go out. I mean, don't get me wrong. At least I don't have to worry about a drinking spike. No date rape drugs. But I'm still like, okay. I guess, I whatever. But anyway, that is going to do it for this episode of Let's Talk Trans. So I truly, like I said, I truly appreciate you guys coming in and listening to us over and over and over again, and staying with us while Kai got better. I hope you truly keep listening. I looked at the stats earlier today, and I saw that we have a phenomenal following in Australia, which is just, again, absolutely floors me. I love it, though. I'm like, there's nothing. I shouldn't say it floors me. It doesn't floor me. Very little floors me anymore. But just the number of people that continue to follow us and the locations that people follow us from always get me. So I'm gonna click. The beauty thing is I can click on here in Australia, and I can see that 100% of my podcasts are being listened to in New South Wales. So for those of you who are in New South Wales, thank you very much for following us. We greatly appreciate it. You know what else I can see? This is the cool thing. I can see. I mean, like, literally, I can name all the countries that we've been listened to. And for those of you in the United States, we want to say thank you for following along. For those of you in Ecuador, buenos dias. In Canada, thank you as well. For Russia, I don't know Russian. I wish I did. South Korea, thank you so much. Indonesia, we appreciate you. New Zealand, you're phenomenal as well. We've got somebody listening into the Ukraine, which my heart goes out. Our heart always goes out to what's going on in Ukraine and the struggle. And we continue to pray for you and hope that, the fight goes well. We've got listeners in Finland. We've got listeners in Sweden and Norway. The United Kingdom, Ireland, and Scotland. Spain, Morocco, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Poland. I almost messed that one up. And Denmark. I think that's everybody. Let me see if I can go through here. We actually have. I apologize. We have listeners in Israel as well. India. Let's see who else. Singapore, Morocco, Ukraine, Ecuador, Puerto Rico. Yeah. And then there's actually, this is going to sound horrible, there's actually 7 others we don't know where they're from. The computer can't pull the draw from that one. So, but I said we absolutely love it. We absolutely love you. We are so thankful that you listen to us. And we hope that you will continue to listen to us as we continue to do more and more podcasts. And hopefully we can keep the content going. So, again, I just want to say thank you. We hope you have a wonderful night. Keep doing you, all right? You do you, we'll do us, and we'll get through this together. All right? Peace.
joining us on this episode of Let's Talk Trans. We hope you had fun. We know we did. If you like us and you want to hear more, follow us on Facebook, subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, or Google Podcast, or wherever it is that you get your podcast from. Until next time, stay true to you.